into week 4 of online classes. It's really odd teaching to a camera and not seeing any of you. So if you're doing these classes, pop a comment in the bottom just so I can see who's practicing, and if you want anything specific, like more chest opening, more hips, more hamstrings, more shoulders, just let me know, yeah? Because I just got Abby, and we do what I want to do and what Abby wants to do, yeah? So I hope you're well. I've been well. Had my birthday, I got a new jumper, and that's about it, yeah? Time's been a little slow. That's pretty good. So, on that note, let's do some yoga. We're going to do about an hour. And you're always more than welcome if you need to adjust or change anything. Change it, make it harder, make it easier. I'd recommend for today's purposes, grab yourself not just 1 but 2 blocks or something that resembles a block, like just get yourself like 2 books. That'll help, yeah? And let's do it. Okay. Start in child's pose, wiggle your knees out nice and wide. You can flatten into the top of your feet, but for some of us, that kind of opening into the front of the ankles can feel a bit rough, so if you need to tuck your toes under, totally fine. You get a little stretch into the soles of your feet that way anyway, so choose 1 or 2. Shuffle your bum down towards your heels and slide your hands a little bit further forward. Yeah, just so you can start to feel a stretch through the arms and across the front of your chest and your underarms. Let your forehead get nice and heavy so you can feel the full weight of your head dropping down into your mat. And you stay here. I'm going to come out because, as always, I'd love it if you could hear me more clearly. And you take a full breath in through your nose. Feel yourself fill up, feel that full capacity of your lungs. And then slowly exhale. It's like you want to smooth the exhale out so no jerkiness or jaggedness. Come all the way to empty, just to start the process again. Inhale through your nose, fill up. And then empty back out. Simple as that. Just take 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, empty. Deep breath in. Full breath back out. And on the no breath, make your way up onto your hands and knees. So come into a 4-point position, hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under now just to support your knees a little bit more. And we wake up the spine. Take an inhale, drop your belly down to the ground, lift your hip bones up, pull your collarbones forward towards the front of the room. Exhale, tap, tap, tuck the tailbone under, ripple up through your spine to arch. Inhale, belly drops. Make a U shape with your spine. Exhale, ripple into your cat, curling towards yourself. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, curl back up and towards yourself. Last time like that. Once again, use a full breath in. Full breath back out. And come to neutral. So your spine is nice and long. You're halfway in between the 2 shapes. And just make sure you set up your hands nicely so fingertips stretch out wide. Press down into your finger pads. Press down into your knuckles. Now press down into the inside, outside heels of your hands. So pretty much all of your palm is flat to the mat except for this little circle bit in the middle. That's never going to get down to the ground. So just try and press it down even though it's not going to. Yeah, does that feel better? Cool. Get your thumbs all squeezing towards the midline. Tuck your toes. And just lift your knees just up off the mat so you feel the weight come out of them. They might still tickle the mat though. Yeah. Now lift your lower belly, use your core. Yeah, make sure that it's awake. And now make your way back. Downward facing dog. I always like to do it that way because my core is a little bit lazy. It's a little bit sleepy. It doesn't always show up to the party when I ask it to. So you make sure your core is switched on already. You lift the lower belly right up and towards the lower back. It's like you can feel your belly button drawing in towards the spine. And if you want, pedal out through the heels, bend your knees, stretch the opposite leg. And to make downward facing dog more agreeable to your body, you can always step your feet in closer. You can take your feet out wider and bend your knees more. And as over time you get more familiar, you can step the feet back, bring the feet in about in a hip distance, and then slowly lengthen the legs. And I don't need to do that over like, say, a minute. No, more like years. Yeah. So you get time. Can you steady your gaze in between your two big toes? Gather a deep breath in. Enjoy a full breath back out. Now bend your knees even more and start walking your feet up towards your hands, lots of little steps. Once you arrive, toes your feet out about as wide as your hands. Bend your knees even more so you can bring your ribs right down towards your thigh bones. Yeah. Cross your arms in front of your shins and dangle your head down towards the ground and just rock yourself. Forwards and backwards. Side to side. Big shrug of your shoulders. Jiggle your head. Take a moment of pause, just because it's good for us. Resisting that urge to always be in such a hurry. And untangle the arms, press into your feet, bend your knees even more, and let's roll ourselves up to stand. Slowly, bone by bone, all the way on up. Jumpers, try and take itself off. Down you go. Alright. Shrug your shoulders down and back. Turn your palms forward. Take a deep breath in, lengthen all the way up through the crown of your head. And exhale deep. Inhale to arms, stretch out wide, reach them up towards the ceiling. To soften your knees and bow back down and towards yourself. So upper body just folds over the top of your lower body. Take a half lift. Inhale, bend your knees, pull your collarbones forwards. And on your exhale, two hands come flat, 2 feet step back, and you arrive in plank pose. When you arrive, press down into your first knuckle. Make sure it's anchoring into the mat. Press down into all the rest of your knuckles and your finger pads. Yeah. Alright. Now lift your inner thighs, switch your legs on, but place your knees down to the ground. Keep the length through your spine, deep breath in. Exhale, lower, halfway down towards the ground. And then all the way, untuck your feet, press into the tops of your feet. Inhale, peel the chest forwards. To exhale, lower yourself down and shift it back. Child's pose, bum down to heels. Hands towards the front of the room, but lift your forearms up and away from the mat. Yes, press your hands down even more. Okay, press down to the heels of your hands. Yeah, so they're plugged down, but lift your forearms up. Yeah. Now roll your shoulders down and out of your ease. Awesome. Take one more inhale. Leave your arms as they are. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and shift them back. Downward facing dog. So the upper body is the same in your child's pose as it is in your downward facing dog. Inhale, roll up onto the balls of your feet. Soften your knees, look forward. This time we step our feet to the top of your mat, one foot after the other. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow in towards yourself. Two arms stretch out wide, come all the way up to stand. Urdhva to exhale, bow back in towards yourself. Uttanasana. Inhale, come back up halfway, peel the chest forwards. Exhale, hands down, feet step. You take your time so you make sure your weight is evenly distributed in between your two hands and your 2 feet. Knees come down to the ground, you lower really slowly. The full exhale to come halfway and then all the way down. Press into the top of your feet, your kneecaps lift up, your hands get light as you peel the chest forward. So you're not making this movement with your arms. Exhale, roll back down, tuck your toes, either roll back through bent knees into child's pose or any variation of plank. To shift it back, downward facing dog. Now I'm going to take off the jumper because this is starting to get warm for me. You pause, downward facing dog. Manage to not take my shirt off at the same time. Yeah, you did. Tricky. Take a deep breath in. It's an art form managing to take off your sweater without taking your shirt off at the same time. So advanced practice right there. We'll take one more sun A. Inhale, roll up onto the balls of your feet. Soften your knees, look forward. You can either walk, step or take a little hop towards the top of your mat. Halfway lift when you get there. Exhale to bow. Inhale to arms, stretch our way, come all the way to stand over Hastasana. To exhale, bow back and towards yourself, Uttanasana. Inhale, come back up halfway. Now see if you can slide your shoulder blades back but pull your collarbones forward. And if you need, fingertips, bring it right up onto your shins. Exhale, two hands, come down to the mat, step your feet back, plank pose. Maybe the knees come down to the ground, maybe they don't. You lower halfway down first, and if you're staying with your cobra, stay with cobra. Always press into the top of your feet, anchor into your hands, lift the thighs and hips up as you peel the chest forwards. Exhale, back you go. Downward facing dog. As you arrive here, there might be a lot of weight in your palms. Can you press through the arms and send more weight back into your legs? Your legs are significantly stronger than your arms, right? Think about how big the muscles are in your thighs. Think about how big the muscles are in your arms. And use the bigger muscles to do more of the heavy lifting. Take a breath in. Shift more weight back into the feet. Exhale. On your inhale, float right leg up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. So you lift from your right inner thigh. Exhale, tiger curl, knee towards your nose. We're just going to step our right foot just to the inside of our right hand. Okay. Arrive at a low lunge. Either plant the left hand down or you can pop up onto your left fingertips for more intensity. Thread the right arm up towards the ceiling. So open up through the chest. Little squeeze your shoulder blades together. And keep sending your left foot back towards the wall behind you as you pull the crown of your head towards the front of the room. We stay here for a slow breath in. Exhale, circle the right hand back around and down to your mat and hop your left foot out and down. So warrior one stance, it's like 45 degrees-ish. Yeah. Square your hips off to the front of the room, and on your inhale, to arms stretch out way, bring them up, warrior one. Hike your pants up if you need to. And land. Think about plugging your arm bone back down into your shoulder socket. Yeah. Turn the palms in and reach the fingertips up. Deep breath in. Exhale and place your hands behind your back. Now draw the knuckles down, lift the chest, drop your shoulders out of your ears. And can you feel a sense of broadening across the front of your chest? So this is a little back bend. Drop your tailbone down. And with a nice strong core, come back up. And then bowing towards yourself, devotional warrior. Upper body folds into the lower body. The crown of the head drops down and you look back in towards your left foot. Release the hands, inhale, halfway lift, pop up onto your left foot. The left ball of your foot. Two hands come down, now press down to lift your foot up, step it into your plank, and move through any variation of vinyasa that you like. So maybe your knees are on the ground as you are. From the top of your plank, halfway down for chaturanga, then you choose either to stay high and come into up dog, or you stay low and come into cobra. Exhale, feeds you back into your downward facing dog, however you'd like to arrive there. Transfer your weight into your right foot. Inhale, left foot floats up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tiger curl your knee towards your nose. Now think about staying high in the shoulders as you step the left foot through. Nice. Right hand comes down, left leg, upper body leg, your arm. Lifts up towards the ceiling. Sometimes I look at my body parts and I'm like, yes, leg. No, arm. I look at a foot and I'm like, yeah, that's a hand. Reach your left arm, your left hand up towards the ceiling and think about twisting around your spine. Can you lift your gaze up towards your left thumb? And if that feels icky, maybe just look towards the side wall. Left hand circles back, around, and down. Turn the right foot out, about 45 degrees. Now give your legs a nice squeeze in so you can feel your glutes switch on. Up you come, warrior one. Two arms, away. Look towards the front of the room. Now can you just gently, and I get this big time, just shift your head back, yeah? So think about your head being on top of your hips and your spine is nice and long and straight. It's not like you're kind of turtling forward here. I get like a little turtle head, yeah? Take your turtle head and pull it back. Yeah, I know, a little tuck into the front of your chin towards your throat. It's just nice to feel your spine. It also stops us when we start getting older from having like a little hunchback. Which I don't know, I don't think it's anyone's goal in life to have a hunchback. No. Take a breath in. And on that thought, exhale, take your hands behind your back, interlace them. Now press the heels of your hands together as you use the knuckles like a sinker. Draw them down to the ground, your tailbone down, lift up through your spine, take your gaze high. Can you, with a nice strong core, just open up your chest? Yeah, deep breath. To exhale, send it the other way, pull yourself forward and in. So you go from a back bend into a standing forward fold, back at your right foot, and can you lift the right arch up? Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, two hands back down to the ground, step the left foot back for your vinyasa. So exhale, lower halfway. Maybe your knees are on the ground, maybe they're not. You choose your back bend, rolling through the chest. Exhale, back you go. Downward facing dog. We'll just do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. Enjoy a slow breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to your nose. Lift the lower belly as you step through. Inhale, right arm lifts up towards the ceiling. Open up your twist. Exhale, circle the right hand back, around and down. Readjust your left foot. Find steadiness. Inhale, become warrior one. Exhale, hands come behind your back, interlace them. Lift the chest, drop your tailbone and your knuckles as you find a back bend. Exhale, bow back and towards yourself. So feel like a little, now like a little turtle again. Rounding through the spine. Look back at the left foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, two hands down to the ground. If you'd like more intensity, yeah, that's always an option. You can step your right foot back, let it hover as you lower halfway down. Ooh. Press your feet into the mat as you go. Broaden through your chest. But look at Abby's face. Exhale, feel your way back. Downward facing dog. Straight into the next side, left leg floats up. Exhale, tiger curl. Knee towards your nose. Step the left foot through. Inhale to twist, left arm up towards the ceiling. Feel like you're leaning back and towards the right hand side of the room. Exhale, left arm back, around and down. Warrior one, deep breath in. Exhale, two hands behind your back. Knuckles drop, tail drops. The core is engaged as you take yourself up and back. Exhale, bow. In towards yourself. Empty out your lungs here. Inhale, half lift. Two hands flat. 2 feet back. Maybe your left foot hovers, maybe it doesn't. You choose. Because everything is optional. Both feet ground equally through your back bend. Exhale, back you go. Downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. Maybe here's a good point to pause. Yeah. And as you pause here, think about shifting your awareness back into the 4 corners of your mat, because the world is a very distracting place. Your mind is a very distracting thing also. So, just look in between your 2 big toes. Stay in your gaze. Find the awareness of your breath. And let's continue to flow. Shifting the weight into your left foot. And on your inhale, start to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. So, three-legged dog, but lift from your right inner thigh so you can roll your right hip down. Yeah! Inhale, come a little higher into the ball of your left foot. Now hug your right thigh right in towards your ribs. Keep plugging it in there. Shift your gaze forward. Ripple the spine forward. Shoulders come over wrists. You step. Right foot, yeah. Towards your right hand. Left toes out and down. Up you come. Warrior one. We'll meet each other there. So if you need to widen your feet, go for it. Do a little fine tuning here. Perhaps you stack a right knee on top of the ankle, or if you want a little less like me right now, knee comes a little bit further back. Steady your gaze. Inhale. Exhale. Now before we move out of this shape, wake up your core. So feel your lower belly. Draw it up and in, make sure it's engaged. Shift yourself forward and we'll take two hands down towards the ground. Okay, now the time you might like to grab yourself your blocks, or good things that resemble blocks. And as always, you choose how high you want to pop yourself on these blocks. I'm going to start with these ones. I'll see how I feel. Yeah? Okay. Good choice. Alright. So, you're in a low lunge. Plant the two hands down. Shift your weight into your right foot. Lift your inner left thigh up towards the ceiling. And it's the same thing as your downward facing dog. Can you lift your inner left thigh? Yep. But turn your left pinky toes down towards the ground. Awesome. Gather a deep breath in. Exhale out. I'm going to bend your right knee a little more. Start to float your left leg down towards the ground. We're going to tap our left heel about in line with our right big toe. Yeah, very good. If you need to bend your right knee, bend it. Awesome. Inhale, float the left leg back up, standing up. Balance your leg. And then pop yourself back up. Same thing again, left foot. Slides forward to come down a little bit further. Can you overshoot the foot this time? Nice. Press down with your hands. Lift yourself back up. Left leg lifts. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, foot threads through. Place your foot just beyond the big right toe. Beyond the foot. Come all the way on down. Use your arms as much as you need to. You hold it here for a moment. Lift your heel. Yeah. Now plant your bum. Keep that left leg lifting. Bend the knee into the chest. And we meet each other in Navasana. Now, for a nice moment, you can get your blocks put out of the way. Wrap your arms behind your knees. And just hug the knees into your chest. Lengthen up through the spine, and if today is not the day for whatever, stay like this. If you'd like a little more, reach fingertips to toes. Now squeeze your legs together. Remember, your legs are super strong. Let them work here. Draw them in. Lengthen all the way up through the spine and keep that length. We exhale, lower down, just for one. So I'm being very nice today. Lower belly comes down, chest broadens. Inhale, back on up. Hug your knees into your chest and just rock and roll up and down the length of your mat. See if you can make a C shape with your spine so you roll through all the little bones. Get some momentum. Roll into your feet. Do the same thing again. Can you catch yourself so you're like a little seat? Now press your feet down. Squeeze your legs in. Lift yourself up. Stretch out nice and long. Exhale, bow back down and towards yourself. Standing forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, two hands come flat, 2 feet step back, plank pose. If you want to move through vinyasa, you can. I'm vibing child's pose right now. I'm going to do that. Or you can move straight back to downward facing dog. It's your own personal preference. We pause just for 3 rounds of breath. And by the third round of breath, we'll meet each other back in downward facing dog. So you take your own time. Nothing is compulsory. Do everything your own way. Every shape that I suggest is an invitation. And it's an invitation in which you can either choose to accept or you can choose to decline. Last inhale. Exhale, we'll be back in home base, which is downward facing dog. To do the next side, shift more weight into your right foot, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling, inner thigh lifts. Now get higher onto the right foot, lift the heel up and hug your left thigh bone right in towards your ribs. It's like you want to get your knee right in towards your chin. Look forwards. Shift your shoulders forward, keep lifting, 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 and then can you place your left heel down first? Then the ball on the toes of your foot. Yes, right toes up and down. Warrior one when you're ready. And then you take your time. Drop your tailbone so you can lift your 2 front hip points so the hips are nice, pelvis is nice and neutral. If you feel a little bit wobbly, squeeze your legs in a little bit more. Yeah. Steady your gaze. Find your core here. Draw it up and in. Exhale, 2 hands come back down towards the ground. Relocate your blocks, or if you don't need blocks. Cool, good for you, don't use them. Okay, shift your weight into your left foot, float the right leg up, standing L. Now think about lifting the inner thigh, but rolling the right hip and your right toes down. Yeah, it looks really good, Abby. Now press your foot back into the wall behind you. Take a little halfway lift, look forwards. Use your core, that's my main suggestion here. Start to swing and like pendulum your right foot forward. Can you tap your heel just in front of your left big toe? Nice. Pick it back up. Lift it up towards the ceiling as you bow towards yourself. Halfway lift. Right foot slides forward again, maybe in front of the heel, in front of the big toe, maybe you go further. Nice. Pick it back up. Thread it up towards the ceiling. Last one's the best one. Exhale, lower yourself down. See if you can thread it all the way through. Maybe you can catch yourself for a moment. You readjust your clothes. Oh, and then you place yourself, very graceful, into your asana. A moment just to reset. Lengthen up through the spine. Perch yourself on your sit bones. You find this nice spot where you're like, yeah, I can balance here. If you want more, take more. If you want more, take more. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, go slow. It's hard not to react to you when you're talking to, I started laughing, so I didn't do it. Low and slow. Not rounding through your lower back like I did the first time. Inhale, come back on up. Knees bend. Ooh, a bit of a shake. Wrap your knees in, take a rock and roll up and down the length of your mat. A bit more familiar this time. You have to play playful with it. Rock yourself backwards. Rock yourself forward into your feet. Come all the way on up. Maybe a little back bend here if you fancy it. And then exhale down. Back down in towards yourself. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, 2 hands come flat. 2 feet step back, lower yourself down slow. Broaden through the chest. And then exhale, peel it back. Downward facing dog. Bring our knees down to the ground. Our hips to our heels. Just come here for a little sit. Deep breath in. Slow breath back out, allowing yourself moments of pause in your practice so you're not just rushing around like you would in your everyday life. Scoot your hips to one side. Swing your legs around the other. And we'll do 2 rounds of bridge this morning. Just because we can. It's not even morning today. Walk your feet in towards yourself, plant feet down. Is anyone else losing track of the days? Yeah, I keep losing track of my days. I keep forgetting to shower. Don't know what month we're in. I'm on Struggle Street a little bit. Okay, if you'd like to get all of like the yumminess out of your back bends, like the sweetness, but you don't want to do any of the work, that's an option. You can take a block. Either pop it on its lower setting or its second setting, right underneath your sacrum, so that little triangular bone, right down the base of your spine. You just prop yourself up here. You can extend your arms long as well if you like. And just get all that expansion across the front of your chest. You get the back bend, you get a little bit of a healthy level of compression through the back line. Super good for you, super lovely. You can stay here for the entire time. If you would prefer to do a little bit more work, that is also an option. So, my friends who would like to do the less sweet option, make sure your feet are in nice and close and you rest your arms down by your side so your fingertips can just graze your heels. Keep your knees in line with your ankles, like straight over the top. Now on your next inhale, keeping the legs tracking in line with each other, start to lift your hips up and away from the ground. And you may find the knees start to pull away. Draw the inner thighs down. With a little initial effort of the glutes, use them to lift your hips up. Keep standing into your feet. Interlace your hands behind your back and wiggle the heads of your shoulders together so the shoulder blades snuggle in towards your spine. You draw your chest and your collarbones up towards your chin and you take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And we'll just stay here for 2 big rounds of breath. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling fully. And so same big deep yogic breaths that we use at the start of class. Inhale. Release the hands. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Bone by bone, you come down to the mat. Draw your feet out a little bit wider and then just knock your knees together. Fold your hands on top of your belly and give yourself a moment. And the reason why we do this is because with the knees together and the feet out wide, it creates the most amount of space in that back end of our body. Right down towards the bottom of our spine. It gives our SI joint just a whole lot more space. You find your breath. You allow it to come effortlessly. You can feel it come and go without force, without having to really kind of push it through. And we'll take one more round. Now, if there's another variation of bridge or wheel that you want to come into and you can do it safely, absolutely. Otherwise, set your feet up. Same as before. Feet pressed down. Use your inhale to stand into the strength of your legs as you lift the hips up. Hands come together. Now think about pressing the heels of your hands together. Press the back line of your arms down towards the ground. Now my elbows are kind of funny and I can't get my pinky fingers down to the ground, but imagine that you can do that. Or if you can, congratulations, keep doing that. And then draw your knuckles towards your heels. Can you point your tailbone towards the back creases of your knees and keep on standing into your feet, lift them up. We stay for 4 rounds of breath and maybe just close your eyes. Count the breath. By all means, if you want to come down earlier, you can. Deep breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale, feel the chest expand. Lower yourself back down, bone by bone. Come back down to the ground. Now you can draw your knees back in towards your chest, tuck your arms around your shins, give them a nice big squeeze. Little rock from side to side can be super sweet. Now from this point onwards, we stay on the ground. Everything is super passive and nice. So if you want to grab the jumper, how did I throw my jumper so far away? Grab yourself a jumper. I would save myself a lot of time if I didn't insist on throwing everything. Good news is, my jumper's reversible, so I can wear it inside out. Yes, very good. This jumper, I'm very excited. It has lots of pockets. Lots of pockets for me to lose things in. Yeah. So this pocket, you could put snacks in here. Lower yourself back down. Lots of pockets to hide tissues in to really mess up your laundry. Okay, let's do half happy baby. Place your right foot down to the ground and draw your left knee in towards your chest. And this is super nice if you ever find that happy baby on both legs at a time, it's just too much. You can do half. Lift your left foot up towards the ceiling. Now, usually I just hold behind my left knee. I find that really nice. If you would prefer, you can take your hands to your foot. You can draw the left knee right down towards your underarm. Yeah, okay, that's the spot for me. Perfect. Flex your left foot. Imagine you're going to press your foot up and towards the ceiling. So give it a little bit of effort to stand into the top, into the ceiling. But use your left hand to draw your foot back down. It's going to help lower your lower back. Can you feel that? Yeah, awesome. We'll give it a moment. And then we pretty much do the opposite. Release your hand, press your foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Now interlace behind the back of your left thigh. You can actually feel some of your hamstrings if you stick your fingers into them. Oh. Interlace your hands around the thigh, press your foot up. And you're working towards making your leg nice and straight. If you have a little bit more space in your hamstrings, you can start to draw your shin towards your nose, maybe slide your hands up the back of the leg. And if you're more on the flexy side of things, you also have the option of lengthening your right leg long. Whoa. Yeah. You do you. Flex your left heel, bring it up towards the ceiling as you turn your toes down towards your face. If you want, you can always use a strap or something around your foot, or you can use like a sock. Draw your foot down towards you. If it's going to make you feel a little bit more accomplished, go for it. But let's not work against ourselves here. So can you allow the upper body just to be super heavy? So back of your head is on the ground, shoulders are on the ground. Sometimes I see a little turtle head coming up and forwards like this. Like, yeah, you could if you want to, but you're working harder than you need to. Come back out. For the right leg is extended. Just rebend your knee. Now place the left foot just above your right knee. Open the knee out to the side. Yeah, now keep the left knee drawing towards the front of the room. You can either leave it like this and have a lovely time. You might like a little more. Slide your hands around the right thigh. Start drawing your right knee in towards yourself, but keep pressing the left knee towards the front of the room. Yeah. If you want more, maybe take your fingertips around the front of your right shin. Personally, my hips don't really need it. Yeah. I find I get a better stretch with just the thigh, but it's up to you. Give your right knee one more squeeze. And then release it. Take your right foot back down to the ground and just leave your left foot as it is, but just drop everything over towards the right. So the sole of your left foot comes towards the ground. Yeah, you got it. Your right leg is still where it is. Your arms nice and long. Yeah. Then I like to take my left hip crease. It's that junction area where the leg hits the torso, right? The creasy bit. Pull that towards the front of the room. And And then press down into your shoulder blades. Yeah. Breathe deep all the way down into your belly so you can feel your diaphragm, that muscle that lives right edged up into the bottom of your ribs. Feel that pulling down. That's why your belly expands to make space. Because yes, I know your lungs are not in your belly. But can you feel it inflate on the inhale? Empty it out completely. Press into the back of your arms and just bring your legs back up to neutral. Left foot comes down to the ground, and it's a moment of pause in between the two sides. My left side feels lovely. My right side feels more like clad glue. Yeah, notice the difference. And then we even it out. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Draw it in nice and tight. So it's almost like you want to get your knee right in towards your underarm. Lift your foot up. Find a variation of Ardha Ananda Balasana that tickles your fancy. So Ardha means half. Ananda means like blissful. And Balasana means baby. Yeah? Ardha Ananda Balasana. You just breathe and you settle into it. And there are always going to be distractions around you. Like downstairs, we've got someone using some sort of power tool. When I say someone, I mean Emma. Okay, release your baby. Lengthen your right leg up towards the ceiling and place your hands behind your right thigh. If your knee's bent, don't worry about it. Just work towards it. If you've lengthened your leg out, you're like, I feel nothing. Okay, a few more then. What power tool do you think she's using downstairs?
It's a sander.
Sander.
She's sanding.
She's sanding something. Don't worry, friends. While you've been gone, Emma and Abby and Fabs have all been doing things. Sanding things, painting things.
A lot of sanding.
A lot of sanding. Okay. Rebend your knees. Your right knee. Your left knee. Place your right foot just above the left knee. So like you're not on the knee, that's not super nice for your leg. Place it just above it. Yeah. Flex your right toes in towards your knee. Press the right knee towards the front of the room, and if you want more, go for it. Wrap your hands around your thigh or your shin. But keep that action of pressing the right knee forward and drawing the left knee in. That's how you're gonna wake up the back right butt cheek. Because you're lying down, your entire upper body gets a little bit of a holiday. Like, yes, you do need to use your arms a little bit to draw the left knee in, but that shouldn't be too much work for you. One last squeeze. Release the left foot down to the ground and then just leave your legs as they are. It's just like a tree falling. Take right foot down towards the ground. Stretch two arms out wide. Close your right shoulder. And just feel yourself unravel on this side. Press into the backs of your arms, come back up. Untangle your legs and let's set ourselves up for Shavasana. Feeling quite nice. To have something underneath your knees. Maybe because you're at home, or assume you're at home, grab yourself a blanket, throw a blanket on, put some socks on. If you want, you can pause me here and you can put on your own music. It's a nice option. Put on a little timer. All the way down. I'm gonna stick my hands in my pockets. Sounds good. Alright. Pockets of my jump has flannel in them. It's nice. So wiggle around to your heart's content. Allow the entire weight of your body to drop. Once you've dropped in, take a deep breath in. Exhale, empty it out and release anything that you've been holding on to in this practice, so you don't need to keep drawing your mind back. You no longer need to manipulate the breath. You pull up any anchors that you have and just allow your mind and yourself just to wander into the echoes of your practice. Stay longer if you want. And take a deep and intentional round of breath. And invite movement back in, so wiggle into your fingertips, scrunch into your toes. Stretch through the arms, stretch through the legs, full body yawn. Naturally yawn. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Maybe like a little squeeze. Roll into a little ball on one side. And prop yourself up into a comfortable seat. At the end of each practice, we sit with our eyes closed. We bring the two hands together. This isn't a religious thing. It is an arrival in the moment, an acknowledgement thing. And we say to each other, Namaste, and that's spelled Namaste. And look, it can be used as a greeting, it can be used as thank you, it can be used as goodbye, but it also is an acknowledgement that we are all human, that we're all born and we all die, and the experiences that we have in between, we all have them, yeah? So, you bring the hands together. You close the eyes, you sit up nice and tall, you take a deep breath in. A full sigh back out. And bowing forwards in mutual respect, we say, Namaste. 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 Namaste, Abby.